Are live. Yay.
Yes.
Hello, internet people and friends and family and friends.
And lovers.
Whoa.
Many
Oh,
lovers.
many lovers.
Yes, that too.
40K lovers.
That's what we said. So, what do we have today, guys? I think we have something super special that I can't keep my eyes off. Literally, because I'm trying to read all of it because it's so good.
Oh, yeah, those little cool guys. These guys who
Yeah.
wear funny masks and they dance.
Yeah, and they tell jokes.
And then they roll like attacks like orcs, but except they hit on like threes and wound on like twos or whatever, or hit on twos. Who knows?
And apparently they're going to break the 0-3 rule.
Looks like it.
They're going to break the rule of three?
Yep. Let's what do we have here? Oh, so we got points. Ooh, and the whole list of units. Are we gonna? You guys want to start off with that because that's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, all 9 units. It's pretty big.
9 units, man. It's like we're looking at custodes.
Yeah, exactly.
We also do have the whole stats for the Webway Gate. Oh goodness! Oh my God!
And a bunch of
so let's start off light. Let's ease into this Webway pool, and let's go over some of the command points that we got.
Okay.
Command points.
Yep. I'll start. Let's cover the Labyrinth's Laugh, a Harlequin stratagem. For one command point, you can use this stratagem when a Webway Gate from your army is destroyed, but before you remove the model from the battlefield. Immediately set up one Eldari unit from your army that has not been deployed from the Webway, wholly within 3 inches of the Webway Gate and more than 1 inch away from the enemy model. After you have done so, remove the Webway Gate from the battlefield as normal. So, from what it looks like is, if your Webway gets destroyed, you can at least pull 1 more unit out.
Interesting.
Yep.
And it's just Aldari, so that means like anything that's Eldar except is Drukari?
Drukari is Eldari.
Oh well. Interesting. It's kind of crazy.
Do the Inari, do they count as Eldari or are they their own separate thing?
I think they still obtain the keyword Eldari. Because
Okay.
Inari, I think, just takes away like who they follow. Eldari is like their race of
Okay, so like instead of being like a chapter tactics or a craft world.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Ooh. That's going to be really interesting.
But it is a Harlequin stratagem, so you probably do have to have a unit of Harlequins to do it.
Well, I would say so, because that looks like that's the only place where that unit is there. I mean, the Webway Gate is part of. It's not in any of the other codexes.
No. My guess is, I mean, at the very least, just taking a patrol detachment. If you need to save on points, taking a small patrol detachment just to have access to those stratagems would be huge.
Oh yeah. All right, guys, you want to cover? That's it for that page because someone cut off the picture.
Well, one that kind of caught my attention, especially if you have an army that's got a lot of command points, the Harlequins suffer from kind of a 50-50 chance on saving from attacks. They have, I think, a 4-up in vol, or maybe a 5-up. There's the prismatic blur stratagem, which could come in handy. It's only 1 command point, and if the unit advanced, you can give them that 3+ invulnerable save until the start of your next turn. That's if you're running these guys as close combat oriented, then that's going to be pretty huge.
Ooh, 3+ in close combat.
Yeah.
Wow. That's brutal.
It's actually until the start of your next turn. So that's going to last all the way through their turn too. So that's going to increase their survivability, and especially in close combat where Harlequins tend to shine more.
Oh yeah, that's sick. That is really sick. And which one is that? Is that the
Prismatic Blur for only one command point.
just one command point? Ugh.
Huh.
Wow.
I'm so glad I own Harlequins and Eldar and Drakari. I am totally stoked for this. This is almost like the completion. Because, you know, we had Craft World early, then Drakari just came out not too long ago, and now we're getting Harlequins to complete it. So I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we would need next is a Ynnari codex, which for them to do that, we won't see it until they've done a whole line of models probably for that army. We'll probably see new models at that point. But right now, yeah, Harlequins round out everything.
Yep, they really do. I mean, it'll be a nice, interesting mix of someone taking 3 detachments, Craft Worlds, Harlequins, and Drakari. It'll be very interesting to see what people do with that.
So I'm not gonna leak it too much, but it's a shame. It looks like there's actually, like you're talking about, a lot of the Ynnari troops are not on here, which means that we're gonna have to wait for Ynnari, or if you want to use that stuff, you still gotta use the index.
Yep. Yeah, I always expected Ynnari to be a separate codex, you know?
Yeah.
Just for the fact that, you know, it's kind of like it's basically a fourth, you know, it's a fourth different variation of Eldar.
Yeah. Man, this is crazy. All this stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
This is a lot for a dying race, man. I'm telling you.
As I'm looking at the point values, I know we're talking about the stratagems, but I keep going back to those point values, and it looks like nothing. I don't think anything got more expensive. I think almost everything came down in points. Looks like a couple things might have stayed the same, but that army got cheaper pretty much across the board.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, your highest point weapon that you're going to spend is the prismatic cannon. You know, haywire cannons are 15 points. It's not a lot of points at all, man.
20. They're 20 points.
No, I mean like for the haywire cannons 15, but I mean you're not paying a lot for your guns or anything.
Yeah.
Not really much on weapons you're paying for. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think
Webway Gate, that is a good price.
Yeah, it looks like about your basic Harlequin trooper is going to be about under 30 points per model. It's an awful lot for a 1 wound toughness 3 model, but considering all the things that they can do, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. I don't think this is a nice standalone army like Custodes are.
No.
But I think this is definitely an augmenting army, especially with some of the leadership bombs that people are talking about online. Be able to combine several abilities and get up to that -9 leadership on a unit.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that though? That's pretty good. -9.
Yeah, that's probably going to make some Custode players sweat out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this army is definitely going to be used. It's either you're going to put it with Drakari to help support them, or you're going to support it with Craft Worlds, you know? This will be like a patrol detachment or something you'll take, get some benefits, maybe a little bit of close combat abilities, you know? And then throw in like the firepower and the awesomeness that is Drakari or Craft Worlds. So, whew.
I mean,
I like it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit, I kind of wish it was a full, like a full codex kind of feel, or like where they can support themselves by having enough units or whatever. Now, we don't know their full profiles on all the units, obviously, but we got some of them. But I mean, I feel like they do pretty good. It would be one of those elite armies, though. but the lead army without the toughness like Custodes have.
Right.
No.
But if you take
Point-wise, they're not an elite army.
Say what?
Point-wise, they're not really an elite army, though.
No, you put a bunch in there. That's for sure.
So.
Yeah, looking at them, you're looking at about 3 Harlequin troopers versus 1, say, Custode on a bike. It's not quite the same, but it's about 90 points versus however many points those 3 Harlequins are going to cost. I think you're going to see if somebody is going to be running this as a full army, you're going to see that battlefield just flooded with Harlequin troopers and what are they? Starweaver? Is that the name of their transport?
There'll be a ton of Star Weavers out there.
And whichever is it, the Void Weaver, you'll probably see a couple of those out there. Oh well, at least 3. With that, is it the prismatic cannon that it gets?
Yep.
And I was hoping for like a really cool flyer. You know what I mean?
I feel like GW kind of missed the ball here. They could have easily added in 1 or 2 more units to the Harlequins to really boost them, give them just a little bit more of an edge, to make them a little bit more competitive, as opposed to just giving them what we had last time. Like a fighter would be good, or a construct, something that could move a lot faster. It's got a little bit more armor or some more devastating weapons.
Yeah. It does stay a little bit with more fluff, though, I think, wise, when you really think about the Harlequins, considering, you played second, right, John? So your first army was Harlequins. So, I mean, it was just what? You had like 10 models, and that was your entire army?
Pretty much, yeah.
So.
Run a bunch of Death Jesters, Shadow Seer, and lots of troopers. Yeah,
but maybe they could have used a flyer or something. I think maybe that would have been good, but I don't see any constructs. It just doesn't seem like you'd have to have like the most agile construct the Eldar have ever created,
That's true. Maybe that's a little wish listing there.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of cool conversions. So I mean, you can pretty much run like an Eldar Craft World army and then just have it modeled with Harlequin stuff, because I've seen that before, basically. So it's pretty cool.
Like the was it the Wraith Knight? Is that their big tall construct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen a couple Harlequin versions of that. That would be really neat.
Yeah. Yep. I've seen someone take their Dire Avengers and have a bunch of the masks on the Dire Avengers, and they're painted up with the checkered pattern and stuff. It's pretty cool.
But yeah, back to that whole leadership bomb. If you combine this army with Yanari, especially those Dark Reapers, you are going to be devastating units, especially if you're dropping those leadership bombs.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, even if I think the minimum or the cheapest version I've been kind of seeing on some of the message groups, that you're getting maybe a -5 to a leadership on a unit without using psychic powers. And -5, then all you have to do is just drop 1 or 2 models, and now this unit's going to start taking mortal wounds or removing models. That's going to be pretty bad for Custodes. Or any army, actually.
Yeah. Because they'll be up in your face turn 1 pretty easily with how fast they move.
Yeah, and I kind of I haven't read everything on the Warhammer community page yet, but I like how they can dip in and out of combat fairly easy, and then end up in close combat with a different group, it looks like.
Yeah, it's a different mask, so we're looking at, like chapter traits. I mean, they're pretty cool. We can go over those in a second. They have like Midnight Star, the Art of Death.
Right.
Units with this form can move an additional D6 when they fall back. Or they can, units with this can consolidate up to 6 inches. That's incredible for getting stuff into close combat and moving stuff around. That's going to be pretty insane. Oh, God, the Veiled Path. At the start of each fight phase, roll 2 dice and discard the highest result until the unit fades. Each time your opponent targets a unit with this form, makes a hit roll that before modifiers exactly matches your dice roll. That hit roll fails.
Oh my God.
God. I can definitely see a lot of people taking that.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Let's see here. The Frozen Stars. If a unit with this form charges in the charge phase, add 1 to their attack characteristics. Yeah, sure. Why not? It's making me more deadly in close combat. This is the one I don't think we'll be seeing a lot. The fight.
Yeah, I'm imagining Harlequins are probably going to be around 3 to 4 attacks apiece, depending on your equipment loadout. Or actually, as I'm reading right now, if you've geared them up with a Harlequin Kiss, you're probably going to get like 5 attacks per player on there. That's going to be very brutal.
Yeah. The one I think you may see though is the fact that the Soaring Spite, it basically models with the form can fly or then embarked on transport they can fly. Treat all pistol weapons they are equipped with as Assault 1 weapons. During a turn which they are on the transporter they embarked, advance. In addition, these models do not suffer the penalty of their hit rolls for shooting with assault weapons. God. Yeah, I think I'm not sure about the Dreaming Shadows. This one's pretty crazy. So when a unit with this form fails a morale test, only 1 model from this unit flees, which is cool, you know, if you're taking a large unit of troops. And then roll a d6 before removing the model, and the model can either shoot or fight on a 4+.
Oh, wow. That's kind of like the Space Marine Ancients.
Yeah. Except I think it's a mask, so I'm not sure. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, but here's the one I think everyone's talking about. Subtract 1 from the leadership characters of any units while they're within 6 inches of a unit from your army with this form. In addition, whenever the opponent makes a morale test for a unit within 6 inches of the unit with this form, they must roll 2 dice and discard the lowest result.
Oh.
That's what their people are talking about. Dance of the Nightmares Made Flesh.
Wow.
That's going to be brutal. Yeah, so Harlequins they're going to be a nice just little supplement army, you know, and I think that's what probably GW mostly intended for them, was to be supplement to Drukhari or when they bring out Ynnari or Craft World. So, God, man, why can't I just paint an army quick enough so I get like one of these new cool armies out, you know?
Absolutely.
I feel the Harlequins are going to be a lot to, especially if you checkered pattern. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to just do a color changing paint, like a popping thing.
Mm.
Kind of like cool. How Brian did his Dark Eldar.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do that with my my Harlequins here.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the primer stuff that he got from, I think it's Green Stuff World?
No, it's Spastics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the Spastic stuff, that colorful stuff.
So do we want to talk about like
well, we'll talk about,
I think, from the Harlequin Codex? I think
out of the units, what we have to expect here. So we have a Death Jesters, we have the Shadow Seers, the Sky Weaver, Solitaire, Star Weaver,
yep.
Troop Master, Void Weaver, and the Webway Gate.
Yep.
That is it.
That's it. I got 1 troop choice. I got what? 2 fast attacks, 1 heavy support troop choice, 1 heavy support choice, and 1 elite and a couple HQs.
Yeah.
Oh wow, the Troop Master is those used to be the squad sergeants, so they're now their own individual HQ or elite choice.
I think they're HQ units. Let me check something real quick. I think they're an HQ choice, or they may be an elite choice.
Oh goodness.
I didn't even see those leaks.
Yeah, so Troop Master is actually an HQ choice.
Wow, that's odd.
No, because Void Weavers are heavy support. Star Weavers are your transports. Yeah, so those Troop Masters are brutal.
Well, then you'll probably see a lot of those guys then on those Star Weavers. Then, if you're going to be fielding these things, you're going to want a lot of those transports.
Yeah, because the first guy I played at Alamo was John, and he played. He had a large Harlequin battalion and then a small Drukhari force to back him up. But yeah, he had a Shadow Seer, Troop Master. He had 4 units of troops, which were 5 each. You know, and then he had a fast attack. He had some Skyweavers, and then he had everything was in Starweavers, and then he took another patrol detachment of just a troop master, another unit of troops, and then another Starweaver. So he had 5 Starweavers out on the battlefield with 5 troops. It was yeah, when those things got out and they hit, man, they hit like brick. Because I mean, just those 5 guys. I think he was rolling like, I think it was like 25 base attacks, and then they had like this one weapon that gave him like an extra attack, and so yeah, it was. I think he was rolling like 30 to 35 dice per turn for each troop. And then when you threw in the troop master, it added like another 6 dice. So yeah, it was very, very brutal. So I can imagine with the codex coming out, and it looks like some people said in chat, I forgot who said in chat, they said that the troops went down, point cost wise. Someone say that?
Yeah, I think they went to 13 from 16.
Yeah, so you're gonna get even more of them. Ugh.
Woo!
They said the jet bikes went down too. So wow, 10 points for each jet bike. That's pretty good too.
So I see a little bit of a. Looks like you're gonna have to spend some stratagems to get that survivability. With the stratagem prismatic blur, basically you can only use on a Harlequin unit from your army that has advanced. The unit has a 3-up invul save until the start of your next turn. So you put that up front. It just says Harlequins, so you can do it on a vehicle. Anything that you want to get up in their face, and give it a 3-up invul, give that survivability so you can charge that next turn.
Yeah. You use it on, or you could have a big unit of bikes and use it on the bikes to get up there real close.
Oh, yeah. So another one, we got Heroes, and that was 1 command point for that. For this one's 2 command points for Heroes Path. It says, use the stratagem at the start of your movement phase in which a Death Jester, a Solitaire, and a Shadow Seer from your army are within 6 inches of each other. Remove all 3 models from the battlefield. At the end of the movement phase, you can set up each model anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches from an enemy unit. Oh, that is turn 1 deep strike.
Oh, goodness.
Because that is used at the start of the movement phase.
Yeah.
So they're on the table. And then you, at the end of the movement phase, your deep strike. For 2 command points, you bypass that.
Yeah, I don't really see most people taking a Death Jester, a Solitaire, and a Shadow Seer, though.
Well, maybe now you do that.
Yeah. It'd be a very elite choice in your face, but maybe more fun games.
Well, it doesn't look like you have to set them all up together.
No, you don't.
So you could reposition that Death
No, they have to be within 6 inches of each other.
Oh.
But then it says remove all 3, and you can set up each model anywhere on the battlefield.
Yeah, so at the beginning, when you
Drop them together and then spread them out.
Yep.
Yeah, get that Death Jester in a nice firing position.
Yeah,
your Solitaire ready to maybe assist one of your Harlequin units that's getting whooped up on, and now you have a Solitaire charging in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that might be good for like total strategic redeployment.
Or end of the last turn and you need that objective.
Oh, that's even more, yeah.
Yeah, it gets that mobility real quick for 2 command points.
Yeah.
It's almost like that one, the Cultists, where you pull them up and you deep strike them anywhere, but this one, you can pull these units up and put them somewhere.
45, 125, Solitaire.
So the Kegarash Jest. For 1 command point, you can use a stratagem when an enemy unit falls back from the Harlequin unit from your army after an enemy unit has finished moving. Providing no other enemy units are within 1 inch of the unit, it can shoot the enemy unit that fell back as if it were the shooting phase.
Oh, wow.
Fall back from a Harlequin unit.
Jesus.
So, just like the when you kill a noise marine out of the shooting phase, because the targeting a character, because these can target a character, because it says the targeting the character special rule takes place in the shooting phase only. And so in this moving phase, when you're done moving, you can basically shoot and shoot the enemy unit that fell back as if for a shooting phase. Yeah. So if there was a character or something that fell back, you'd be able to shoot it.
What?
Because It's not in the shooting phase.
Oh no. Sorry, I was reading about the example made stratagem.
I'm not gonna lie, I was too. That caught my eye.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have to do the Dreaming Shadow, of course, and it's a character. But I mean, still, model cost is 2 hits, and a roll 6+ is 3 hits. And we could even do that when they die, because the Dreaming Shadow is the ones where they die on a 4+, they can shoot again or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Ugh. Man, Harlequins are going to be like this. Like, I think it's going to be that subset army, but still, you're going to be like, they do what? Okay.
Yeah.
But this isn't going to be the type of army like, say, and I know I always come back to Adeptus Custodes, but it's not the where any kid could walk off the street, buy a bunch of Custodes, and do well. This is going to require a lot of finesse and a lot of strategy involved in executing these stratagems with matching them up with whatever, what do they call them, the masks or the paths?
Yep.
Whatever that is. You're going to have to really know what you're doing with this, maybe even more than what some people say Dracaria or a finesse army. This one is definitely a finesse army.
Oh yeah, this is not an army that has TJ written on it at all. This requires thought and thinking. Oh Jesus, this is not a TJ army.
This is not a bolter. If it's not a bolter, I don't know what to do.
What do you mean? Hold on, I don't have a 3+ save. What the hell's going on here? I'm so confused.
I see objective secured says it's going to be hard to win events with them, but they will mess with the overall event finish. I agree with that. I think this is going to be one of those armies that could easily knock one of those top contenders right out of the running for top table.
Oh yeah, you could really put a dent on someone, like, and just be like boom, and they'd be like, oh, what the heck? Just all kinds of random stuff happening.
Well, I think a lot of it's because like you have a lot of little trickery, little stratagems, and everybody's going to know. I mean, a lot of competitive players may know, but it's going to be like you said. It does what? You know, you're going to have those readily available. Like, hey, look, I had to do that with my noise marines. I was like, oh, I promise, this is what they do. Oh man. Oh, okay. All right, we're at 10. I'll let you finish because I want to go over this Webway portal gate.
Okay. Well, I was just thinking that this army is going to be good for those people that go to ETC and ATC, the big team tournaments. This could be one of those armies that you just throw in there just to screw with just that one player. All you have to do is just get that one guy messed up. So it really tips the balance of the team play back in your favor.
Oh, that's true.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Very excited. I'm going to read this. This was taken by a phone from 1998. One of those flip phones, apparently, because the quality is atrocious. Not saying it was leaked by GW, but probably leaked by GW, because it's always those bad photos with a glare on it. All right. So it looks like the only profile we got for it's toughness 8, which is huge. So it's that Wraith Bone, kind of like a Wraith Lord. It has 14 wounds and a 3-up save.
With the 5+ invulnerable.
Yep. So it looks like it's Shimmering Arrival. I'm just guessing on that first word. I could read Arrival. But when you set up, bear with me, I'm reading it. There's a glare on the paper and they did it on purpose. When you set up this model during deployment, it can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 12 inches from the enemy deployment zone. And any enemy models and more than 3 inches from any other terrain feature or the center of the objective marker. So you can keep it 3 inches out of the objective marker. You can place it next to it. This has a 5-up invul. It's immobile. So this model cannot move for any reason, nor can it fight. Fight phase. Enemy model automatically hit it. In the fight phase, do not make any hit rolls. However, friendly units that still target enemy units that are within 1 inch of this model. Next, Webway Strike. After you set up this model, any Eldari units you have not yet set up during the deployment, other than fortifications, can be set up in the Webway spar rather than being set up on the battlefield. One unit in the Webway spar can emerge from each friendly Webway gate at the end of each of your movement phases. Set them up wholly within 3 inches of the Webway gate and more than 9 inches away from any enemy model. If all friendly Webway gates have been destroyed, any unit that have not yet arrived from a Webway spar are considered to be slain. Hence that I think that one stratagem to
allows you to bring them out anyways, right?
something
Before it
super
dies.
important if you had a bunch. Webway Gate, of course, they're no chump at 14 wounds. So Webway Gate, when measuring distance to and from a Webway Gate, measure from the closest point of the model. If a Webway Gate is destroyed, remove both arc pieces from the battlefield. Now I want to point this out because me and TJ talked about it earlier today, and everyone in chat, a whole bunch of you guys, faction keyword is only one, and it's Eldari. So in match play, there's a restriction of having the top level to prevent the soups. So how do you guys think there's going to be a rule to allow this? What's your guys' thoughts? Because remember, you create an army. This is going to be a fortification. It's going to be its own set, basically.
Oh, no, hold on. No, there it is. Unless the detachment in question is a fortification network. This has no effect on your army attachment. Yeah, we're good.
Fortification network?
Yeah.
Okay, there we
It says
go.
right there on the errata. So
Answered.
Yep. It'd be weird. I mean, but you're going to have to take a whole detachment. Just take that fortification, right?
Yeah.
Or the battalion. Does the battalion have a fortification in the bottom of it?
I think they do.
Let's check out.
That's what I always get confused on because I was thinking that it doesn't, you know?
And then the keywords are vehicle, building, and Webway Gate.
No.
That's the whole profile.
Looks like battalion does have. Wait, no, that's flyers. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't see the fortification except for just taking a fortification network. So you're going to have to waste a whole detachment just to take these.
Right, but most Eldar players usually only take 2 detachments. Usually like Craft World and Yanari, or Drukari and now Harlequin.
Yeah, so.
But if I'm understanding this right, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that means that even though Craft World and Drukari can access this gate since they have the Eldari keyword.
Yep.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. So this gate, which is a huge deal, I guess you don't even have to bring a separate detachment to include any kind of Harlequins, because this isn't the Harlequin codex. It's its own fortification, formation, and you can literally run that with your Dark Eldar or your Eldar.
Here's the one thing. I mean, a lot of people in the chat, they said it's not worth taking. And I think the reason why that you may not see it, even though it's a beautiful piece of terrain and it can be useful, is you can't deploy if something's within 9 inches of it, because it's still got to be 9 inches away from an enemy unit.
12. If I'm from the enemy deployment zone. Never mind.
Yeah, but no, when a unit comes out, it's still like deep striking. It says it right there. So set them up wholly within 3 inches of the Webway gateway and more than 9 inches away from any enemy model. So I don't know what the benefit is if you can already stick something in the Webway and then you can deep strike it anywhere you want to deep strike it. You know?
Right.
With Craft World. Or with the there's one for Drukari, right? That you can take it up and pick it up, and if it can fly, you can stick it up in the air or whatever, or deploy it. So I'm not sure if people are really going to take it, you know?
I want it.
What if
I
you
want, I mean, like if I play an Eldar, I want one too. I mean, that is probably one of the coolest pieces of terrain I've ever seen.
Dude, look at the presence it gives. It's massive.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bigger than a Wraith Knight.
Wait, yeah. Wraith Knights are super tall.
Yeah, they're what, about 6, 7 inches, maybe 8.
Yeah.
Mm.
Man.
But this Webway Gate, though, if your opponent sticks a unit nearby, and then you're not going to be able to get anybody out because of that 9-inch rule.
So fortifications do count as an enemy unit, correct? For deploying. Like if I deep strike, I can't deep strike within 9 inches of it, right? Because it's an enemy unit.
I believe so.
Yeah, I mean it's got the keyword, and yeah, so it's a building. So yeah. So that helps prevent them from deep striking on. Ooh. Wow. What a great. Sorry, I was just thinking about it. What a great, not a great screening unit. Thing's massive.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, they would have to target it.
Yep. It's massive too. So I mean, you could put that right up front and be like, "Yeah, I've got it," because when you think about the base, it's probably what, about 8 or 9 inches big.
Easy.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you look at that. That creates like a geez. That's just like a huge. God, 18. Yeah, I mean that's a huge bubble of just stuff that can't go anywhere near it.
Yeah, you're almost looking like on 2 feet on its widest points.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, the front you still get 9 inches away, but on the sides,
Right.
you know, that's a pretty big bubble right there.
Yeah.
9 plus 9 plus 9 is, God, that's 27 inches.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like you said, screening something at T8, 14 wounds with a 3 up, 5 up.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's not going to go down in one turn unless you waste all of your shooting, all your big attacks just to take down that one gate, which then you're ignoring the rest of that army that's coming at you.
Now, imagine that on a smite bomb type army.
Oh.
Right?
Put it right up front.
For it to absorb all them smites?
Yeah. Absorb the smites. That's fine. Yeah.
You can even tier it. You know what I mean? You could, with 3 of them, right? You put 2 up front, 1 here. And then so you have a tier system. So if they have deep striking or whatever, you have some protection. Where those gates are so massive, they're going to have to get really far away to get to your units to smite them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a better Craft World screening unit than Rangers.
Oh, yeah. Because they got the coverage. This thing is just massive in itself.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
And you can't ignore it. I mean, you can kind of ignore Rangers to go after nice targets, but this one, because of what it can do, you can't ignore that. You've got to take that out.
Yeah.
Got to shoot it.
Not to mention what you can have in it. You know what I mean? You can have a unit of, I get the delay or whatever people worried about it, but you have a unit of Wraith Blades. You know what I mean? A hard-hitting, strong unit that's close combat oriented for waiting until you get to them first, so they're not getting shot to crap like they usually do. And now you have a delivery system that can be right all up in there. Because think about it. If you deploy them, a lot of times, depending on the army, they're going to try to come to you.
Oh, God. You know what I thought about, Jonathan?
What?
So, you know, people are like, Wraith Knights, not worth it, right? Because, you know, point-wise and everything, get shot. Hold it on the Webway Gate for a turn. You can't shoot it. So everyone's going to be like, oh, I got to shoot the Wraith. So then it's going to force them to shoot everything in it. And then, you know, then you play the one command point, it still comes out.
Yeah, well, that's if you're only running 1, but yeah.
If you're running 2 of them.
Command point, you have that one Wraith Knight still coming out who survived, and that's a good tactic if you don't get turn 1.
Yep. Because usually, I don't think with Eldar or anything like that, you're going to usually there's a lot of drops. Usually, most Eldar armies I've seen have a lot of drops. You know, because they're low on points, so you're always going to see a lot of drops. So if you're playing something that's got low drop count, you're probably not going to get first turn unless you seize. Oh yeah, the 1 point is Harlequin only. Still, you have 2 of them. You got to take out 2. 240 points, and you can drop a Wraith Knight wherever you want to drop it. Ugh.
Yeah, just bring that's Eldari. You can bring Craft World with Harlequins. Have your Wraith Knight hiding in there. Bring that special unit troop choice that, you know, a lot of the characters can get shot because they have to worry about this massive ass wraith bone in front of them.
Yep. Objective security. Yeah, just out of patrol. That's what you got to do. It's man. God, that thing is going to be so diverse. Oh.
I'm excited.
Oh. God, I want to start another army.
Volantis is he's right. He says Drukhari, they have a lot of transports to make the drop smaller. So, you know, that's a deep strike bubble too, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get 2 of them. We have a 9-inch bubble, let alone what did we say? 7 inches, just guesstimating here. You get 2 of them. What does that get you? The whole table area right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pretty much a gigantic table area, and then you don't have to worry about taking guardians or rangers and all the other crap you normally have to take for screening units, you know?
Oh man, yeah. You don't have to worry about someone deep striking in like a full grain army or something that deep strikes. You just keep that big old.
Jonathan, you're so funny. You said Grey Knight army.
Oh. I was just
What
thinking
idiot would play Grey Knights?
No one plays Grey Knights.
God, it's going to be. Yeah, I think we're going to see that. Like, my guess, Harlequins come out, what, 2 weeks?
They go on
next week. They go on pre-order this week, so they'll be out next week.
Yep.
So that means in 2 weeks they'll have that model out on the table. I could definitely see, you know, because in Texas, you know, we got the big 4-way battle for Texas. You know, I think we can definitely see some people. I bet you'll see a couple of these at Dallas Open.
Oh yeah,
easily.
Depending on their cutoff time. I don't know what their cutoff date is for new codexes.
I mean, considering it'll be out the 1st of June. So yeah, I mean, you're looking at, I mean, it's 2 weeks. Should let it, right?
Should. I mean, I think 2 weeks is more than enough to allow a new codex in, but some places like to do 30 days.
30 days, yeah.
I think 1 week is cutting it close, but 2 weeks that's sufficient to learn that new codex.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm stoked about that model. I had no idea.
Oh,
I want a bunch of them just because they're so pretty.
Sorry, Cramp's my hero. He plays pure Grey Knight.
I just know that.
That's a good guy right there. Grey Knights. He's not gonna like me because I took a study with my Grey Knights.
Well, because you're trying to run your Grey Knights competitively.
Well, at least make him a little bit more competitively. Now that they took the deep strike away from me.
That hurt. That hurt a lot of people.
Oh yeah, it did. Man, God, Harlequins are going to be awesome. I'm so pumped. So we're going to be about like all the cool stuff that's coming out. You know, like Forge World, Talons of the Emperor.
Oh,
40K.
Don't get me started on that Forge World Talons of the Emperor stuff. Jeez.
God, I want to be so excited. Oh, that's right. David just reminded there's a 5-way because El Paso. Forgot about the Sidewinder.
Yep. And yep.
El Paso is the first one, isn't it?
Huh? No.
September, right?
No. Sidewinder is the 30th of June. It's a week before Warzone.
Oh, okay. So Alamo starts it off?
Yes, actually. Yes, it does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, then Dallas, then El Paso, then us, and then Austin.
Yeah.
When is Dallas open?
19th, right?
15th, 16th, I believe.
Oh yeah, 15th, 16th. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna, man. God, I want to go, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it.
I gotta be officiant at my buddy's wedding, so I can't go.
Yeah,
I asked if we could just do the wedding up there, up in Dallas, and I can just do it quick. Yeah, you guys good? You want each other? Cool. Just shake hands or kiss, whatever. Sign the paper. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what they should do. Yeah, make it easy. Yeah, just tell them that. Don't worry about all the big stuff.
High five. You're married.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Thanks for spending this thousands of dollars just to high five each other so I can go play Warhammer 40,000.
So I got a tournament to run to you guys. I'll be back. Yeah.
Well, the groom is actually a 40K player too, so we both want to go to the tournament.
That's funny. Yeah, because I mean, I was thinking about going, but my family's going out of town. Like, we're going out of town the week before until they get back, like on Thursday, and then we can head to Dallas on Friday. But then I'm like, that's too quick of a turnaround. If they were going out of town that weekend, that would be awesome. I could just be like, well, I guess I'm going to Dallas for the weekend because the kids and the wife are all gone. But that's not, didn't work out that way.
That makes me sad because that means I'm gonna have to find my own hotel room now.
Oh yeah, you're going, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go for the shop. If we get someone that can work, which is a high possibility, I think all three of us are gonna try to go, so at least I can play in the tournament.
Yeah.
For FNP, and then they can run the shop.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That'd be a little
good
vacation for you guys.
We play each round, and everybody just be Jonathan.
Yeah. So I get to play all those fun games in the beds. That'll be nice for y'all.
Yeah, you're gonna miss out on those. The find the teacup in the sheets.
No, I'm not gonna miss out on much of that.
Or who's in my mouth?
No. So silly, Jonathan. So silly. So let's talk about good stuff. There's a huge event that came out this weekend. I don't know. It's over in England somewhere. It's called like Warhammer Fest.
Yeah.
They had some stuff to show.
I mean, what really happened there? Anything big?
Who took it? Didn't Orcs take it?
Orcs did.
That's crazy.
Orcs took it.
That'd be a good Orc player.
I think he was a good Orc player.
Yeah,
I think he was good. I love the. It was very interesting reading the commentary on the 40K Facebook group. Did y'all read that?
I did.
Did you read it, John?
No.
Oh yeah, there were a lot of people that called him out and said he was slow playing everybody. So he responded in his own forum, and he said, "I was not slow playing. I play orcs all the time. There was no slow play, and there was one dude who was like going at him. Some dude was going at him like really hardcore, saying, "Oh, I was there, blah blah blah." My friend said, and blah blah blah, and then the other people were going at that dude, and then the moderator shut it down.
Oh wow!
It was getting like hearsay stuff, and going on. So all I know is this. I will state this again. 2,000 points. If you're playing an army over, I'm gonna say over 50 or 60. If you're playing an army about 60 model count or more in a 2,000 point army, 120. It takes a while to play that army. And then where you got someone who's playing 120 boys marching across the table, even though I think he had movement trays and he was moving them quickly. It's just once you get in close combat, man. I mean, it's a lot of die rolling, man. You're totaling up all these attacks and stuff. I think most of the time in a tournament setting with deployment and everything else, you're lucky to get about 3 turns playing a massive army like that. I don't know what y'all. I played LVO. I played Alamo now, and one of the best games I had, I played Demons. But he had God. So he had at least 90 models in between a 30 unit of pink horrors. I mean, no, pink horrors are the little pink ones, right? For Zinch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 2 units of basically 30 units of pink horrors, and then a 30-man bloodletter bomb. Once those things get into close combat, you're set. Like, I don't care how well you know your army, you're still totaling up. And then when they were shooting, they shoot like 3 shots per when they have like certain spells on them and stuff, or 4 shots. So with 30, you're shooting 120 times. It takes a little while to roll like 120 dice.
Right.
So I mean, like, when this dude's playing orcs, right? I mean, you're moving that, and you're move advance first turn, right? You're not really shooting, but that second turn, you get in close combat, you're like, all right, unit 30 boys. You're like, okay, each one's got 3 attacks. you're counting up your dice. You're like, okay, I'm gonna roll 150 dice. You know,
Yeah.
it just takes time. I mean, I don't think anyone with that kind of record or that kind of experience would be slow playing anyone, especially at a GT. You know, big huge fest like that. So I just think it's one of those things that I think they need to introduce chess clocks or something like that, so each one gets an equal amount of time, or do something to where you really can fill in, you know, your points or whatever.
I played some orc players, and there's a couple of good local orc players. Clint is one of them, a friend of mine, and he plays probably between 80 and 90 models. And even when we are playing as fast as we can go, and I'm helping him move and separating dice and everything, it's still, if we're getting past turn 3 in 2.5 hours, then that's amazing, because it's, like you said, 150 dice or something like that. When you're getting you got 30 guys with 3 or 4 attacks apiece, that takes time, you know. So if people are, especially, you've seen I just kind of looked at that Facebook page where people are complaining about it. They weren't there, so it's kind of hard to say. You know, you're taking everybody else's commentating on it and just kind of like piggybacking that without having any proof. Like I like to say, no pick, no proof. You know, you weren't there, so you can't sit there and say the guy was slow playing. That just creates kind of a negative atmosphere. But and like in a demon's army, those, man, you're rolling so many dice and you're moving so many models. And it's not that you're slow playing on purpose. It's just the way that army moves.
Yeah. I mean, I know. I like the guy I played, Matt. Great guy. I mean, he literally just, like, he had the 30 pink cards and he measured out the first row and then he just pushed all the second ones up behind it. So movement took as much time as it would take me to move normal models, you know. But it's just, you know, when you're like, okay, I'm gonna cast a spell, and now they got an extra shot, and then the like, you know, the herald's right there, so they get an extra shot or something, you know, and you're just rolling a lot of dice. A lot of people say, you know, the assault dice app or something like that, you know. I think, you know, that's a possibility, but at the same time, it's, you know, people like to roll their dice. People spend money on rolling a lot of dice, so they like to do it. So, you know, it's one of those things. I mean, you know, apps do make things easier, and, you know, I think a clock will help too. But, you know, I mean, it's one of those things to where I think it's just me and Jonathan and we've had offline talks and we've talked about it. I think maybe 2,000 points, maybe a little bit too much point wise for a 2.5 hour game. I really think maybe with the point adjustments now, everything kind of went down a little bit. That, you know, kind of a 2,000 point army, I think in 7th edition now, maybe about 2,500. So I think, I mean, maybe lowering it down to 1,750 if, you know, the tournament organizers would all talk about it or something, you know. 1,500 I think is a little too low.
Yeah.
But maybe 1,750 or something. But the 2,000 points, I mean, you can really design good lists to get a lot of stuff in there. So.
Yeah, what was 7th edition usually? 1,850, right? That was the. Yeah. And dropping down 150 points. Yeah. Maybe we'll have a faster game at 2.5 hours. But right now, if we're going to stick at 2,000 points, we need to start looking at adding like 15 to 20 minutes extra onto each tournament. Yeah. That's just for setup. That way you have like a full dedicated 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's true too.
But who wants to?
Maybe chess clocking the setup time. It's like you have, after, you know, we'll call, you know, like whatever. It's like you have 10 minutes to deploy and set up. And then after that, the clock starts. So if you take extra for deployment time, you know, or what you don't get deployed doesn't go or something, you know.
I like that idea.
Yeah. I mean, like if you can't get your stuff deployed and it's taking you that long, I know deployment's a huge part of this game. But, you know, it's sometimes you just got to kind of go. Like I know at Alamo, I know y'all were talking about for Warzone is the aspect of you know, the unit rule of 3. You know, deploying 3 units at a time.
Yeah,
I thought that worked really well. That worked really well for me.
I've heard the pros and cons for it. I'm still on the fence about allowing using that rule. I'm not 100% sold on it. I did like it because it did speed up deployment times. I do understand some people's complaints of deployment, how it kind of cheats them out of having the lower model count or unit count.
Yeah.
But unless we sit down and actually play chess, we're not going to ever have a balanced game. So trying to speed things up and balance it out, that's a burden.
Yeah. I know for me, it was like, I was playing Custodian, so I was like, oh, this unit's in Deep Strike for my Grey Knights. And then I was like, boom, 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 2 units out. Like, it was like a unit of Custodian Guard and a Flexor. And then, the other guy was like, you're done? I'm like, yep, I'm done. And then I was like, 1 unit in Deep Strike, another 2 units out. I'm like, okay, I'm done. And then, I went through 4 rounds, but it was pretty quick for me. But, I could see how, like, some people may not like it. They want to play that chess game. They're like, oh, what unit are you going to put out? Oh, I'm going to counter with this unit. And, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on through it. So I can really see, like, people do like that kind of deployment. But, yeah, there's some. So, yeah, I just thought that was really interesting, that came up. Man, when I saw the news and the Orc player one, I was like, what are we like? Is this like, I thought I was in, I thought I was in Time Warp or like some other dimension.
Even
winning a tournament?
Lawrence was there too.
Yep.
I was like, Lawrence wasn't playing Orcs.
No, Lawrence I think finished like 8th or something, I think is what he said.
I think one of the things was, it really just depends on what kind of army you're playing against. I used to run a lot of Poxwalkers, a lot of zombies, and I'm talking about like 110. And there was points where I would try to hurry up, and I would literally mark that front unit, and then I would scoop them up and just pile them. I had piles of zombies at one point, and the front row was just marking where they were. And like you said, if you start getting in combat real quick, because you're moving, advancing, you get close combat, that's a lot of dice you're rolling,
Yeah.
So I've made it where I was turn 3. I made it all the way turn 6 with that same list, just depending on my opponent and what they had. So
yeah. So I mean, it just depends on who you're playing against,
Yeah.
I wonder what that. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I was just going to say, let's say you have that Orc army, and the first army he played was a Demon army. If they got past turn 2, I would be surprised,
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at 2 massive armies going against each other, So, I mean, I think the real thing we need to talk about now is Adeptus Titanicus.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, have y'all? I mean, I hope the people watching have seen these models.
Oh, God, yes.
They are so beautiful. Like, I mean, the little knights have to be about this big. They look like they're about the size of a Space Marine.
Yeah, they are.
And then the warlords, the warlord titan looks like it's about the size of a Redemptor, I would say.
That'd be right.
Yeah. And then, I mean, the Reavers, and then they didn't have the Warhounds out yet. But I mean, oh my God, and the kits look so beautiful. Like, I don't really like specialist games. If I want to, like, I don't like, like Necromunda and all the other stuff. That never, like, Shadespire I want to play, but, like, none of the other games really have hit me where I'm like, it's different than, like, the normal game, It's always like, you have skirmish games and all the other stuff, so they've never really interested me. But, like, Adeptus Titanicus, and if they bring back Battlefield Gothic, those are the games that, like, interest me, because I'm never, ever going to be able to have, like, a Titan Legion to play, right? So now that they've shrunk them down, it's like, oh, my God, I can have a Titan Legion and play, So I think that's what I'm excited about, is that technically, I can probably spend like $200, have a full Titan Legion, and then I can play someone else's Titan Legion. I'm just so excited to do that.
Is it going to use the same rules?
I mean, there's its own rule book and everything, like in all the leaks and everything. I mean, they like Greetings from the Warp and a couple other ones had they took like pictures of everything. They have like all the different box sets. They have like a major box set that has like Warlord. I mean, it's got 2 Warlords in there and like 3 units of Knights. I mean, 2 units of Knights of 3. Then it's got a rule book, and then it's got city terrain, and then one's just got like the Warlord and Knights, and then a rule book, and then they have like the Warlord separately, and the Knights are separately, and the Reavers are going to be separate. Then you buy the rule book separately, and they have like 3 different things of city. You can get like the big area city one to get a lot of it, or you get like just a couple small ones,
Yeah.
And then they're coming out with the tiles, the pre-built resin tiles, I think it looks like, or maybe plastic tiles, to where they're already done and you just paint them up. So, and I think they're 2x2 sections. So, I mean, like they are coming out with this game proper. This is going to be huge, I think.
And I think it's going to be fast. It's going to be one of those, especially like the big war game conventions. That's going to be something that on a Friday night, the day before the big event, you're going to see this game maybe set up so everybody that drove from out of town, everything, they're coming out, they're going to sit down and battle it out like mini tournaments with this game. Because from what I've been kind of reading, this is going to go by fast, and you only need 4 or 5 models, and you're done.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun, I think, quick-paced game. It's going to be like volcano cannon, boom, boom, and shit's just going to be blown up and everything. So it's going to be pretty cool. So I'm just excited because, this is one of those games that I did not get to play when I first started playing, I think it came out right after Rogue Trader, and I got in at 3rd edition. So all these box sets were gone by the time I started playing. But I was like, I bought some of the Knight stuff, the Emperor Titan one. I bought that, and I used the legs and other things to convert, like on a Dreadnought that I still have. So, it's one of those things, you see all these bits and pieces, and you're just like, oh, so cool. So it'll be so excited to see. And then, I think GW really nailed it on that one, to be able to release that like that. And when they're going to release it, it's going to be a huge, fun game.
Pretty stoked.
Sorry, John. What's
up? Fun for all of us who can't afford a entire Knight army like Viet can.
Oh yeah, yeah. Then Viet got posted up on Warhammer Community for crying out loud. That's incredible though.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
If I could paint like that, man. Oh, jeez, that dude can paint.
If I could afford.
That's some other cool stuff that came out of Warhammer Fest too. Age of Sigmar is getting a new edition. It looks like they're going to do it right this time. So, which is kind of cool. I think this will be a good time to get into Age of Sigmar, I think.
Yeah.
Right after we get done with our Escalation League, right, Jonathan?
Yep.
Over the store. We got some Age of Sigmar. So I think that's going to be cool. And some of the new models and stuff, the new Sigmarites that they're coming out with. A lot of women in this one. Very, very good. Very well modeled. I think it's kind of cool. And then after that, did y'all see the new Corn Dragon from Forge World?
Oh yeah.
No.
Gorgeous.
Oh my god. That thing is huge but gorgeous. That is like the best dragon I think they've ever produced.
See, this is what happens when I don't check my Forge World email.
Oh yeah. I mean, John, you saw it, right? Like it is beautiful.
Yeah, it was definitely breathtaking. It just caught your eye right at the bat where you had to sit, stop, take a look at that, and just kind of like zoom in on all the details. That model's going to be huge.
And that dragon, though, I thought from The Hobbit, when they did the Hobbit dragon, I forgot his name.
The small dragon, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a beautiful dragon. But this one just looks impressive.
Do you see it compared to a water bottle?
Oh, yeah, it's gigantic.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Look at that guy's hand compared to it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And then they released like a giant Cryptek Necron walking thing. I have no clue what the hell that is.
Dude, I'm stoked for that. I think the Necrons finally earned their little
They have a knight, man.
Yeah.
Really?
They got their knight.
It's going to be so cool. I can't wait to see one of those on the table. Can we show the dragon?
Yeah,
yeah, let me wait. Hold it. So, how do I do this? I take over my screen. How do I show my screen again?
On the left, the little green screen share.
Yeah.
And then I'll click on you. Yeah. Hey, it's me.
It is you. Is it up now?
Yeah.
There's the dragon, guys. Here, let me enlarge it.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all take a look at this bad boy. This is spectacular.
Now, if you Google the Corn Dragon, it actually has it where it's still not painted. And
oh, really?
Objects near it. Yeah, just Google the Corn Dragon.
Okay.
That's what I was looking at. There was water bottles and stuff next to it, and a guy put his hand up next to it. Yeah, there it is, right there.
Which one is it?
There's a water bottle right there. It's all that you see there.
Oh my God, the hand? Yeah, here's the hand. Beast of War posted it. Oh God, why did I do that?
I was gonna.
Yeah, wow, that thing is huge. There's a water. Oh man, look at that thing. That thing is. Oh my God, it's going to be magnificent. Wow, that is very cool.
Oh.
What's wrong?
None.
I stop sharing now.
Well, yeah. Well, it got me big.
There it goes.
While I was
Got
nominated.
it now. So that is definitely cool. And then, but I think the thing that most people got excited about is when they were talking about the new Talons of the Emperor stuff and all the Forge World stuff that's going to be for Adeptus Custodes. And they're supposed to have Grey Knight stuff in there too.
Really? Yeah, it's probably going to be all the stuff that was already there. I don't suspect there's going to be new Grey Knight stuff. It'll probably just be, their Land Raider and their they had the Razorback that had the side cannons.
They said new data sheets, so I don't know what the new data sheets are, but they did say. So I don't know what that's going to be, but yeah, I can't. Like when I saw the leak, the beta rules for the Telemon Dreadnought, the Custodes Dreadnought.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, if I go to Dallas, I am definitely buying one of those. I'm swinging by the store this summer, Warhammer Citadel, and buying one of those bad boys. Woo! 400 points. Toughness 8, 3+ save.
It's so nice to get a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
To get your Forge World.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Instead of waiting, like 3 weeks.
Oh, I know.
Oh, make a day trip out of it.
Yeah, day trip. Yeah, that'd be cool. Can't wait for that. And then they released the new Dreadnought drop pod.
Oh, really?
Yep. It's big enough to fit a Contemptor Dreadnought. Do I need to share my screen again, Jonathan? Did you miss that one too?
Mm-hmm.
Well, while you're doing that, back to
yeah. So here it is. It'll pop up shortly for you guys. But yeah, that's the new Dreadnought drop pod. You can tell they updated it. They made it very similar to the plastic drop pod with the side fins and everything. So that's kind of cool. That's coming out. And then yeah, they showed some of the Dark Mechanica stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Forge Heresy.
Doesn't that look a little chaosy though?
Yeah, it's Dark Mechanicus, man.
Yeah.
I know.
What else did they drop? Drop some of this. I don't know. It looks like a Sister of Silence HQ model.
That's pretty sweet.
That is. She kind of looks like an elf. And then they dropped some Alpha Legion stuff. A new Giant Knight again.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Let's see what else. I don't want to see that. More Blood Bowl stuff's coming out, which is cool.
Dude, I want that.
Alpha GT did a big Blood Bowl thing, and it went off really well, which is cool. New mats are coming out.
I want that standee.
You want the what?
That standee.
What? Which one?
The Titan standee.
Keep going up.
You're going up?
That.
This one?
I want that standee.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Get a picture of me within there and Jonathan. Yeah, they came out with some more stuff, from Necromunda. But yeah, this trailer was pretty cool. But yeah, Adeptus Titanicus, man.
The amount of detail for how small they are is pretty impressive.
You gotta remember, man, that's the size of a Redemptor Dreadnought, man.
Yeah, they said the scale was 32 millimeters still.
Yeah. Yeah, look at these boards. Already pre-done.
It'd be kind of fun to just use your other one when you don't have it to run it as a Redemptor Dreadnought.
The Dreadnought guys, don't worry about it. I mean, these knights, I saw someone pick them up. They look like a Space Marine size. They're so cute.
Aw. That's cute.
They look cute. Oh, these models.
Yeah,
Man.
dude, these are so cool.
Look at that. Oh.
Like the hanging guy. I saw him earlier today.
Oh yeah, this dude.
Dude, that's so badass.
That is awesome.
That is terrifying.
You know what the most scary thing about this when I see this model, Jonathan?
What?
Is it breaking right here?
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Ugh. Knowing my like the first thing I do is drop it. Man, that's some pretty cool cosplay, dude.
Yeah. It's getting better and better each year.
I know. And of course, the leak for the Sisters of Battle. If their models are going to look like this, oh my God, that's going to be probably the most amazing models we've seen from CW.
Imagine painting that.
Oh God, man. I'm just looking at this. I'll be having fun painting this bad boy.
Bad girl.
Bad boy.
Don't assume her gender.
No, I'm just joking. Yeah, she's a bad.
Whatever.
I can't say the other thing. Never mind. It's a bad beat. No, sorry. Yeah, but I mean, they had a lot of cool stuff that came out this weekend. I mean, one of these days, we'll have to make an all trip. We'll have to all go over there.
Heck yeah.
So, I mean, I was just amazed. I mean, they had a lot of good stuff that came out, you know. So,
one of these days when FNP Wargamers is sponsored to go.
Sponsored. I'm just going to have to make a trip over on my own, man.
Huh.
But yeah, I mean, so much exciting stuff came out this weekend.
I've already made my way to the pilgrimage.
Yeah, I know.
I've been to the Holy Land.
When you got that Lindsley money. Actually, the typhus money.
Yeah.
Jonathan Typhus.
The
Look, Morty, I'm a pickle.
and you know what? And a friend even bought you something you can only get over there.
I know.
He thought of you, called you all the way from the UK.
He did?
On his celly.
I know.
To say, hey, bro, do you want this? And you had to think about it.
I did. I'm glad I bought it, but then, you know, it kind of sucks because, you know, then my friend made me pay him back for it. I mean, it would be better if it was a gift, right, John?
Yeah, at 150 pounds, it's like 225 bucks.
What'd you get?
Oh, the Space Marine, you know, the HP command tank.
Oh,
75. Still got it.
How much was it?
75 pounds.
75 pounds. So it was 100
quid, right? 75 quid.
Quid.
Yeah, such a cool model.
I started saying quid when I was over there.
Quid.
well, I'm just going to drive up, you know, about 45 or about 4 hours and go and get it at the new Warhammer store.
Yeah, no.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, man, imagine going to Dallas now and you're like, oh yeah, swing by the Warhammer store.
Let's get all the exclusive stuff that. Hey, you know what? It was fine. They shipped it back for me, so.
Yeah. Dude, you know what? While y'all talk, I'm gonna see how the poll's going.
So TJ, what's your poll about?
Well, I need to paint something new for my ad mech. So right now I have a poll. Where's it at? Where'd it go? Where's the poll at?
They deleted your poll.
Someone delete my poll? Did you delete my poll? It's only like 2 inches, but my poll's gone.
Oh, that's revealing. And I'm sorry.
What?
Your poll.
Yeah, so I've got a poll on there. It's got 28 votes. Let's see what it said. So I needed to paint something new for my AdMech army. So it was either Castellan robots or the Armiger Warglaves. And so right now there's 28 votes. And it's split 14 to 14. Right down the middle.
So if you guys have a chance, go to the FNP Wargamers page on Facebook and vote for whichever you think that TJ should paint to add to his army.
Yep. Because the best thing is on both of them, I got Gadget Plus, you know, the guy who does all the night stuff. So on Shapeways. And so I got kits for both of them. So it'll be either like the drill kit and the saw kit for the Armigers, or for robots. But for robots, I've got the ones you can put on the fist, but he made little gun things underneath it, so you can be like, oh, it's got the guns on there. So you don't have to get the dorky guns that come out the front and you take off the fist. So I think it'll be cool. So I'm excited because I can do a product review and paint 2 new kits. Oh God, let's see here. What are they talking about in chat? Anything good in chat?
Blowing up.
Yeah.
It is. Man, David and Valentis is having a definite. They're talking about something. What are they talking about?
Tyler said robots.
Robots. Tyler said robots. I think Tyler already voted. Let me look. Someone voted. Oh, someone voted for Arms Your Warglaves. Ooh. Did Tyler vote? Let's see here. Tyler Miller. I know he's in here. No, I don't see him voting, but who knows? I can't check it all. So let's see here. The Knights. No, chess clock should be enough.
Looks like they're talking about the Knights.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people want to. I think I kind of want to paint up the Knights too, but we'll see what people vote for, and that's what I'll paint. I want to paint either one, so I really don't care.
No. I'm talking about the Knights, and that with the chat, they're talking about having basically a full Knight army and the drops and stuff like that. Because
the
Knight Codex earlier.
Yeah, the Knight Codex is supposed to come out too. I guess maybe in June.
I suspect by the end of May.
Yeah, because we haven't seen anything about that new Knight, and that's what I want to see.
And this is really weird. Like, Games Workshop, the end of their fiscal year is May, and usually they like to finish off May with something big just to close out the year, so the investors are all happy, and makes them look good on paper. So we really haven't had a big release yet, I don't think.
No, the last big release was, what was it? Forgebane, right?
Well, man, I'm just talking about May in general.
Yeah.
You know, there's what did we get this month? Death Watch,
and then Harlequins.
Yeah, but those aren't big cells, you know.
Yeah,
and
big cells.
The CLs or sea monkeys, whatever they're called, you know, they were.
You know what? I like them sea monkeys. Okay.
I am impressed with the models, but still, it's we're not really seeing a big end of fiscal year sale. So I'm curious on what they're building up on for the end of the month.
Because you think about it, because pre-orders go on this week for Harlequin, so the Harlequins come out on the 26th, and then the next Saturday is the 2nd.
Yeah.
Weird. Oh, Dog Z says April is the start of their fiscal year.
I don't know about that. I used to work with them.
Yeah.
And June was the start of the fiscal year.
Yeah, that break June off something proper with some big June, you know, with the new release of Age of Sigmar, you know. They may go with June dropping something big, you know. Bring out the Knight at the end of the month or something.
With all the new Knights.
I don't know, man. It's just going to be interesting. I just want to see if they're going to have like interesting ways of taking Knights to get you more command points, you know? Like if they have to like a small like Knight patrol or something.
Maybe. You might have to end up probably doing, if you want to really capitalize on those command points, depending on how that army is set up, probably going to have to take like 400 points and invest in a Imperial Guard battalion just to get those extra 5 command points.
Yep. Yeah, it sounds like that's the way to go. Or maybe, man, yeah. Oh, the Knight stuff. Yeah. I don't know.
In chat now, they're talking about the. I guess you're going back and forth. It looks like about discussing how the clocks would hinder horde armies and actually be against them.
Oh yeah. Because the last thing you'd want to do, because with the clock, right, if y'all each have an equal amount of time for chess clocks, right, and you're out of time, then the other person wins, right? Or how would it work?
I think they get to finish the rest of their time.
Yeah, so you would get to do like, let's say they finished on like turn 3. Would you get to play turn 4 and 5 on your clock without the other opponent doing anything?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I didn't read too much into the Frontline Gaming's whole chess clock bit that they're talking about implementing. It just didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't sit well with me. I wanted to see some more data before I try to implement it, and even just in a local tournament. I've seen and read about too many different battle reports where it works, it doesn't work, or it just doesn't do anything at all. So
yeah, I mean, because the biggest thing is, you know, I mean, when you really think about it, is like, how would it? I mean, like, how would you play it out? You know, like, let's say I have a small elite army, and you know, I bring in like 30 models to the table, and I play a big, huge horror army, you know, and like they get done, you know, all their time's up by like turn 3, you know, and you know, I'm still like, oh, I still got a ton of units left on the field. Do I get to be like, well, let's see here. You can't attack me anymore or do anything. So I'm just going to pull out of combat, go grab some, shoot some stuff. You know, for the next like 30 minutes, it's all TJ game time because I've only taken 30 minutes of my chess clock.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be really interesting to see like how they would play that out. You know, because then it would hurt horde armies. You know, I mean, you'd be like, well, I don't want to get too much horde stuff because I don't want to run out of time.
Yeah.
Oh, God, David.
Here, I voted on the Warglaves. I have 4 of them, and they're terrible. Yeah, you make my AdMech army even worse. TJ, don't take the good unit. Take this one. Oh, God. That cracks me up. But yeah, I don't know. The chess clock is it's an interesting concept. So I just don't know how you implement it, you know? Like you said, John, there's not enough data out there right now.
It's definitely controversial, if anything.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Because if you have 2.5 hours to play the game, then each of you get an hour and a half. I mean, an hour and 15 minutes. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I think, maybe adding either, as you guys mentioned before, dropping the points down to say maybe 1850, 1750 instead of this 2000, or adding some more time. But I'm not sure if people really want to have 15 minutes added to a game time, because now you're there for an extra 45 minutes longer than what you were before. You know, just on day one, if that's a 2-day event, now you're adding another 30 minutes, and it's just kind of drags on. So start early, add more time. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Start early. It's just pretty early.
I'm saying like start at 6 a.m. and just kidding, guys. Did not say that for seriousness. But say you start at 9:30 for a tournament instead of 10.
Yeah.
Like we were doing up in Alamo, starting a little bit early.
Yep.
We were getting out early, which was actually pretty nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And actually, to be honest with you, all the games I played up until mostly time limit on every single but one game. So it's, I mean, like it, you know, one game we got to turn like 5, you know, and by the end of the clock, the other one I got, the one I got tabled, so I was done pretty quickly, but yeah, it was just a bad matchup. And then the other one I went to time to turn 3 because I was playing a big demon army. And then my Eldar, when I played the Eldar, I mean, I got tabled by turn 5, but we were almost to time. We had like 20 minutes left. By the time we walked through the tabling, you know, we didn't want to play out the rest of the 2 turns, the rest of the turn. We just walked through it. And then the last one, I think I was on turn 4. We were about to start turn 4 and the time was up. So I was playing, you know, I mean, I had a small army. I was playing Drukhari, so it wasn't like I was playing a massive horde army. Just a lot of stuff going on. So
what I'm hearing is Grey Knights are pretty competitive.
Oh, Grey Knights are super competitive, man. I mean, dude, I was like just destroying people, man. I mean, yeah, totally destroying people. I mean, just taking people out. Yeah. Yeah, it was just pretty atrocious. I feel really bad for a lot of the people I played, you know. I mean, it was just, they were just so stunned that the Grey Knights were so powerful.
Yeah, I bet. But there was a lot of apologizing for the games.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I am so sorry, guys, that I have to do this to you guys. But here it goes. Took a mortal wound off you. How you like that one, buddy? God, Legion of the Damned, Primaris, Hellblasters. Oh,
I don't see that happening, but you never know with Games Workshop.
God.
It would be scary as hell.
Well, Colonel 26 asked a question. Maybe we should ask our resident Raven Guard player on what he thinks of Raven Guard.
Well, I didn't even see the question. But, oh, there we go.
What do you guys think of Raven Guard?
Well, at LVO, I did pretty well with my Raven Guard, but at Alamo, I did really bad. But I tell you what, the Raven Guard, using that strike from the shadows and getting your Primaris Marines up front, it's pretty devastating. But after that, you kind of, especially if you're going up against like a Custodes or another army that's good in close combat, you're going to start crumbling after that. So the Raven Guard are good. You just need to really balance it out. I saw a good list with taking Shrike and 2 units of Vanguard and then another captain with that special relic jump pack, and using Strike from the Shadows to get them already deployed up front. So they're not deep striking in. They're already deployed up front 9 inches, and then now they're going to charge with rerolls. So you can get some pretty good combos in there. You just got to be smart with what you're doing.
You mean the all Primaris army is not the way to go for Raven Guard?
If you want to be a fluffy bunny, yeah. Some mistakes were made. I'm not going to admit it. Well, I guess I am. I need to bring a scout squad and drop one of my intercessor squads, and that I think might fix the issue I had. But I went 5 games without going turn 1, and when you're spending 7 to 8 command points to strike from the shadows for 8 units, and you don't get to go first turn, you're kind of boned.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think definitely. I think like I don't know, Raven. I mean, like in general, Primaris don't have a lot of close combat. So it's mainly shooting. So you need something in there, like with Raven Guard, just like you said, you need Vanguard vets or something to get in there and take that close combat portion out of it, So,
or if you brought Adeptus Custodians, having a bike squad, you're going to be able to get it across the board pretty quick with that 14-inch move, and I think 6-inch advance. So they would be a bike unit would be a big help to that army. But by itself, yeah, they suffer in close combat really, really bad.
Yeah. For my Custodians, against the guys I was playing, because I was playing against, I was after turn game 2, I was kind of on the lower end tables. But the Custodians, man, like a unit of 3 Custody Guard with the Valexa that gives them a -1 to hit always, and then putting a shield captain right there. Man, those dudes, and they all had the storm shields and sentinel blades. Those dudes took a crap ton of firepower, and were just coming through and just keep on kicking. You know what Custodians need? They need an apothecary. That would have been awesome if had an apothecary, so you could still heal up the Custodians. And then I put the 4 bikes right there, and then I'd like deploy the bikes out with something that I was like, oh, that needs to die right now. So I take my unit of 3 bikes and run them up 14 and go assault something turn 1, and or either that or I'd unload 36 storm bolter shots. I mean hurricane bolter shots. Rerolling ones, so that's always nice. So,
all right. Was there some sort of was there a stratagem that the Custodes can get where you can, if like an Imperial character was up front and somebody was attacking them in close combat, then you could like teleport a Vexilla up to them, like a bodyguard type?
Yeah, I think it's a Terminator or something of that nature. I'll look at that, but I know there is one. I
was discussing something like that with somebody. They said you could slingshot that person up there, make sure it's like a Vexilla, the Allurus Terminator, and then you can use the 3 command point stratagem to bring another unit up there to help out with close combat as well. Maybe I'm thinking of the same stratagem, but it basically you can slingshot a bunch of characters up there, which for the Raven Guard army, that'd be very helpful. Now all of a sudden you got a bunch of Custodes running around the front lines, really boosting your close combat abilities.
Yeah. So I'm looking at that one. That's the teleport Homer one. They have so many. It's not even funny. You'll go figure that out. And I know which one you're talking about. Damn it.
Okay. I mean, it's no big deal. I don't know if I'll. The only thing I might add in for my Raven Guard is after I drop one of the intercessor squads, throw some scouts, I might take that auxiliary detachment. I think throwing in a that Terminator Vexilla. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right, but the one with the Defensor banner.
Yep.
Drop that in the middle of all my guys that have done that strike from the shadows. Now I've got this 5-up invul, and my guys are a lot more survivable. So we'll see.
It's not that. I think it's no, it's a relic. I think you're talking about a relic.
Okay.
Yeah. Look. So what do you think about, Jonathan?
Do what?
What are you thinking about?
I'm just running all the Harlequin stuff.
Harlequin stuff? You
Yeah.
drooling right now, man?
I know a little bit. I was actually thinking about what kind of paint scheme I want to do for these guys. I was looking at a lot of pictures. I was just like, oh.
Yeah, John, what you're talking about? It's a relic you can give to Terminators.
Okay.
So it's a Terminator model only. So you could use the Valexa because that's 3 command points, and then you can set up. You could transport and switch it out with an Imperial character within 1 inches of unit enemy model, right? And then you set that up. You switch out those 2, right? Or you put it within 3 inches, and then the banner, would give your benefits or whatever, and then you could do the 3-point stratagem and pick up a Custodes unit and move it right over there within 3 inches.
Oh, that would be a nice augment right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called the. It's on the first page. It's called Vexilla Teleport Homer. When the stratagem is at your end of your movement phase, while you set up a teleporting Adeptus Custodes unit at the end of the phase, you can set up wholly within 6 inches of a friendly Valexa Praetor and more than 3 inches from enemy models. So any model that the unit cannot be set up in this way are destroyed. So yeah, you could definitely do that to where you swap, you put it up by the Imperial character, and then you drop like another unit right behind it and spend 3 command points, and you're right up in someone's face. You get like a Warlord kill or something.
It might be a nice boost to the Raven Guard. Pull some units out, and then put in those custodes. I might have to consider doing that.
Dude, David's right, man. I pulled off 68th place. It's not bad, man. I won my first game. I was shocked on the first game. And then, my third game, I got a good number of points. And then my last game, I only lost by 1 point. It was 14-13. So,
yeah, David, we don't need to be putting up records. People don't need to know those things.
Yeah, David, you need to get John's record up there. That was a good one. Or maybe Alan's. Alan's was extremely good.
Praetorian plate. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Oh, I like what David said. The Defensor Vexilla with Primaris Deathwatch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Did your 5-up invulnerable save, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So before we call it for the night, I want to ask everybody a question that I overheard somebody ask, and I didn't fully agree with it, and I'm curious what everyone else's opinion is. And it's going to be controversial, so everybody in the comment too can say it. So, if you purchase a painted army, or you had it commissioned, and you claim it for yourself, is that ethical? Right or wrong? You paid for it.
Are you talking about entering it in like a painting competition?
Yeah, wins best painted. You bring it to GW's Armies on Parade. You get the points for it being painted, anything. Because each level is a ethical or not. Me, personally, this is only my opinion as Jonathan, I don't think it's right. I even make sure when people always ask me about my Death Guard army on display and my Reaver Titan, I said I painted everything in there, but I had the Reaver commissioned.
Yeah.
Because that's not my work.
Yeah.
So what's your guys' opinion?
I want to go on the end that I enjoy painting my own army. And if I were to ever enter in a painting competition, it would be army that I painted, even at tournaments. Like if, let's say one day I do play my Adeptus Mechanicus, and I did buy those from Jonathan, and who bought them from someone else, they were already fully painted. So I don't feel like I would be in the right to put all those units out there and say it's my painted army,
Mm-hmm.
So like if it was really well painted, I don't. For me, it's just, I can't do that, dude. Not right.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with TJ. I really like to sit down and paint my own miniatures, and I'm on the fence. I mean, 'cause after being a TO for so long, I know people are showing up with armies that aren't theirs, and I mean, thankfully, those times we haven't had to worry about for best appearance or anything, because it was just like local tournaments. But it's something I worry about, because I don't want people getting credit where it's not due. And I mean, not as a Warzone representative, but as me personally, just as John, I would say I don't think it's right. I think you should only get the points or the award for your own work. And if you're not good at painting, man, there are so many videos out there online on YouTube. TJ, I know TJ's got some painting videos. You can find out how to do this. You don't need to have somebody else do it. And just a little unethical.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I would tell the TO, I would go up to the TOs before they even started voting on painting. Either that, I probably wouldn't put out my army. I'd be like, it's not my army. I didn't paint it. Or I'd tell the TO, I was like, if they're like, hey, because a lot of times you kind of know who's going to win best painted. I'd probably go up to the TO and be like, yeah, just take me out, take all my scoring out and give it to the next guy below me who actually painted his army. I just think for me, it would be, just a little bit more. I think for me, I don't want to take credit for someone else's work, even though, even if, let's say I paid a couple $1,000 for someone to do it, I still paid a shit ton of money to do it, but still it's not mine. I didn't paint that army,
Right.
And
if the guy who painted my army was at the tournament, I'd be like, yeah, and so y'all can give the award to him because he painted my army.
Yeah, but that's where the opinion of the other person said, well, if I'm paying for it, then they can claim whatever they want because they bought the product, they bought the paint job. And I like I said, I disagree with it as me, not as FNP Wargamers, but as Jonathan. And I've come a long way in my painting. I've made third place twice on Armies on Parade, and I had the best board the last year. Actually, me and a dude tied, so we kind of held up the certificate together because there's no tiebreaker. But best board. And at one point when I was painting, when I very first started, I had to ask how to make blue. Think about that for 1 second.
I don't even want to think about it, Jonathan. I know what that means.
I had all my paints. I'm like, how do I make blue?
Oh my gosh.
What do I mix to get blue? I was mixing paints, and I was like, how do you get blue? Yeah. So I've come a long way. So I feel like if you want to get better, you can. You just got to keep trying. And I always call it cheating when I paint to make my stuff look good, but it's actually just called techniques. And I learned tons of different techniques. So because they help you make something look better.
Yeah. For me, it's basically, man, like painting is something. It takes time. You're the first time you pick up a paintbrush, and let's say you've painted canvases and other stuff, you may be really good at that. But when you pick up that little bitty paintbrush and you're putting paint on this little plastic model, it's a totally different concept. Completely different. So, I just think painting is just something you work at. The more you paint, the better you get.
And it's not like you have to devote tens of thousands of hours, in that day just to get your models painted, man. Just pick up a model and paint one little part. Paint a leg, paint an arm or a torso or something. There's your 5 minutes. Go sit down, go play with your kids or watch TV with your wife or husband or whatever. You don't have to paint them a little bit at night, but just sit down and paint one part of that model.
Yep.
I used to be really bad at painting, just like the type that where people would make fun of my painting, and I actually took the time to watch some YouTube videos, learned how to paint, and I'm looking at my nice 3 first place for Armies on Parade.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking at the awards. You know, I know I can do a good job.
Yeah.
Just because I took the time to learn. And some people don't like to do it. I get it. Or some people say they don't have time. Which, if you've got 5 minutes in a day, you got time to paint a little bit. So,
like painting's one of those things I think you have to commit. You know, it's like I'm gonna paint my models, dude. If you paint an hour a day, it's amazing how much stuff you can get painted.
oh, absolutely.
You put an hour and just say, you know, I want to paint for an hour today. And you're like, whoa, I got a lot done. Next day you paint for another hour and you're like, wow. By the end of the week you painted 7 or 8 hours. Yeah, your units are like pretty much base coated. Probably got a couple washes on them. They're based and they're ready to go. So I mean like this the best way to start out, I think, is, you know, you put your base coats on there, you know, with simple base coats and do a wash. And like just that, you'll be like, this is really good. Then you start working on some of those more advanced techniques and stuff. But, you know, then you start working on edge highlighting, you start working at wet blending, and you start doing all this other stuff. But just learn how to base coat. Base coating will get you so far.
So in the comments, Dog has, it's pretty funny, is my wife is a master in fine arts, and she can't pay a GW model for poop. Use another word. But the funny thing is I hear this, that artists can't paint because they're used to a canvas. But when you start adding a 3D surface and it's absolutely tiny, you know what I mean? I probably, because I can paint models now, I probably can't paint on a canvas, save my life, you know, or create a work of art, but I can do it on a really small scale. But yeah, it's David's pretty funny. He said, wait, are you saying I should practice until I don't suck? This is America. Capitalism for the win. No, I think I've gotten lucky with my painting because I have been playing Chaos Space Marines forever. And I still have my original models that I didn't just claw bump some green stuff to make Plague Marines. So I still have a lot of my original Black Legion. And I like that, dude, you guys both took a drink at the same time. That was awesome. So
great painters think alike.
And so I had my Black Legion, and at the time, I remember when I painted them, I was like, man, I got this. This is so good. I first primed them in gloss black. I was like, all right, so I'm gonna have this cool shiny new armor, but they're chaos. So then I took a matte black and dry brushed it. Right, so there's some gloss, so it looked like new but dirtied up armor. And then I took some silver. This is all the apple pot paint from Walmart. Took some
craft paint.
Yeah,
that's some good paint, man.
Took some silver. I use it for terrain still, but I took some silver, and I was just like, yeah, battle damage. And I thought it was the coolest thing. And I look back at my model, I'm like, oh. Was I doing? There's no technique. I made my own wash out of a floor polish and ink because the floor polish, it made it shiny, but it you pretty much couldn't strip the model. That's how thick that floor polish stayed. And they were like, "Oh, use the floor polish to protect your model." Yeah. So lots of learning.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm looking at one of my first. It's the original 25 anniversary Emperor's Champion model, and like I'm looking at the edge and line highlighting that I did, and it is like so thick. I went from like the Fang to White Scar. That was my stage of highlighting. It was like right because it was over black, so I was like, oh, I'll put the Fang on it, and then it was like just white right over it. There's no depth at all.
I didn't highlight. You at least started highlighting. I didn't even highlight anything. And you started at least with GW paint. I was like, I'm not going to spend $4 a pot. Are they insane?
No, I mean
4 big pots of things of paint for Walmart.
I bought the black Walmart stuff. The black acrylic, you know. That was my first black, but you know, it's like man, I couldn't get that blue I liked, so I had to get the GW blue.
Anyway, I think the point we're all trying to make is humble beginnings. We're not right out the gate experts whatsoever. Some of us started a little better off, like TJ, with edge highlighting than others.
Man, this was probably like the 30th model I painted at the time. So I was trying, man. I was, on the old 3rd edition Space Marine Codex, I'm like, oh, I got to put line highlighting. That's how they do it. Okay, I'll try it. And there was no YouTube. This was like in '99. There was no YouTube videos. I was like, okay, that's how the picture looks. I got to get a really fine brush,
How did we survive without YouTube videos?
Dude, I don't know how I survived. I mean, you know how much since GW's released their new videos, with Duncan doing this and Peachy? Like the first time they did edge highlighting, I was like, oh, okay. He turned his brush to the side, kind of glanced over the edge, and I was like, that's how you do it? You don't have a really fine brush and you're not just like doing it like gently on top. You just turn your brush to the side and get it at the right angle and do this. I was like, you bastard. I didn't know that.
Those easy little techniques that you learn just either by accident or like watching people like Duncan, and you pick up on those, man. It speeds up your painting so much.
Yeah, it does.
That's what Jonathan's been saying for like the last 6 months. He goes, dude, you paint so much faster now.
Dude, TJ used to paint so slow. He painted good, but so slow. And now his paintings is probably 3 to his 1 that he was getting.
Yeah, those bikes only took me 2 weeks to do. I was surprised.
Crank those out.
I haven't even posted any pictures of them yet because I haven't taken any good pictures of them yet. 2 thin coats.
Lantis was right. He said white dwarf.
Yeah.
He said the white dwarf. That's true. They have those little. You know what's funny? I always look at the white dwarf and they're like, do this, this, and this, this, and they showed the model. I was like, that doesn't look like the finished part of any of these.
Yeah.
They used the studio, model, and they also had it painted professionally, not just another guy be like, oh, you need to make a tutorial.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, white dwarf. I mean, I pulled up some of the old white dwarfs. Those painting articles weren't that great.
No, they weren't.
Oh God. Jess, back to your point, Jonathan. If you don't paint your army, for me, nah, dude. Don't try to win best army with it, man.
Yeah, I think it looks like the consensus in chat too are all the same too. That one person was like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So,
I mean,
everyone's got their own opinion, and like I said, these are all our personal opinions.
Yeah. Yep. And if you want to do it, go to a tournament or whatever with an awesome, beautifully painted army, that, man, more power to you. If you spent $3 or $4 grand on that, dude, it's great. However, just don't take credit for having the best painted army because you didn't do the work.
Yeah, someone's like, dude, how did you paint that army? Be like, hey, you bought it, man. At least come out and say it. Be like, hey, bought the army. Okay, I got someone to commission for it. I'm not really a painter. I just wanted to play this army. So put the list together. I had the guy paint it up for me. At least say that. Don't be like, yeah, man, I spent hours working on this shit.
Yeah, but you know that some people would do that. Like,
I know.
It's always a small percentage.
Yeah.
It is a small percentage, I think. Like I said, the whole group, pretty much everyone was pretty unanimous about it. So, but
I think David's a great painter, though.
Didn't he say 3 colors and he wins?
Yeah, man. At least you're doing 3 colors, man.
That's true. That's better than gray.
Some models I saw.
That's better than gray.
I mean, really, if you're not even really good at painting, but you want to just have something painted instead of plastic gray or primer black, man, just put a base coat, like you were saying, throw on a wash, and then just dry brush.
Yep.
And just leave it at that, man. There's 3 colors right there. It's going to look good-ish, better than plastic gray, and at least you're trying and you're being a little bit respectful to everybody that's putting a lot of effort into these big GTs and majors by having something painted.
Yep. I mean, for crying out loud, man. I mean, Army Painter makes some great primer.
Yes.
If you're painting like blood letters, right? Go buy the blood red Army Painter. Freaking primer models with that. Take a black wash and then dry brush it with a lighter red, and you're like, oh, they look pretty damn good.
Yeah. Hell, with the Adeptus Custodes, go buy Retributor armor from Games Workshop, coat it, maybe slap on a wash,
Yep.
and you're practically done.
Yeah, retribution armor. You put sepia on it, and then do. You could actually then do probably a dry brush of sepia, and then a retribution armor again, and then get the one with the. I forgot the other one. That's the next stage, which is retribution with mithril silver or whatever. And that one, you do a little dry brush on top of that, and then next thing you know, I mean, you look pretty damn good.
I think it's Liberator Gold is the next step for that.
Yeah, Liberator Gold. Yeah, it's Liberator Gold. You do that, man, and you could bang out Custodes in freaking like 2 hours.
Did you say sepia, TJ?
Yeah, I said sepia, right?
You did.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you said the right.
Yes, I didn't say Sophia or sepia. Yeah.
Not Sophia.
Yeah.
We have the best painting tutorial video, which is actually probably one of the most utilized ones because it's to give the melter burns or exhaust burns using washes, and TJ's pronunciation of all
every single color
is epic, and the paints, they're very good.
Yeah.
Like none.
I mess up every color. I say none oil.
Like from a pressed none, they press
then
none.
Then I use what after that blue, so it's was it Drakenhof Nightshade or whatever, and I was like Draken. I messed that up, and it was Druchi Violet or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I misspelled everything, and it was like Seraphine Sepia or Sophia. I don't know what I was saying.
Called it Sophia.
I messed up every single paint color.
Every week when I talk to my GW rep and I'm ordering paints and everything, it's if there's a weird paint name on there, we start giggling because I try to pronounce these things. She's like, I know what you're talking about. Just stop.
Just stop talking. Yeah, dude, it is so hard for me to pronounce models. I mean, paint colors. I don't know, man. What happened to like the easy colors when it was like black ink or like
they had to trademark everything.
Yeah. God, I miss those days. Mithril silver. Oh yes, I know what that is.
Yeah.
God. Okay.
All right, guys. Yeah, I think we've gone almost 30 minutes over our usual time.
Yep.
So thank you guys so much who participated in the chat, as well as always to our Patreon supporters. You got to remember, guys, if the second tier of our Patreon support page, we actually add you guys to the elite chat that we have on Messenger, and we're always on it. And that's typically where we put all the pictures of what we're doing, or even the leaks that happen, so you'd actually find out early. And we
have a lot of good discussions on there.
Oh yeah, that's where we chat. So, yeah. But again, guys, thank you so much, and good night.
Night, guys.